welcome to another YouTube exclusive segment. I am still joined by my friend Van on this one, and we are going to kind of do something that we've not done before with these YouTube exclusives. We did kind of Fastlane predictions in our first segment. So for this segment, we are going to be discussing Samoa Joe's release from TNA. Now, earlier this week, at the time of this recording, Samoa Joe tweeted out that him and TNA could not come to terms on his contract. So I kind of wanted to get your thoughts, Van, on what this means for Samoa Joe in terms of how this will impact TNA, and also what do you think the future will be for Samoa Joe. So first off, Samoa Joe leaving TNA, how do you feel will impact TNA wrestling?
I don't know if it'll have a major impact. He's kind of been in the he hasn't really been in the foreground, except when he's been part of a group like he is now with the
the Beatdown Clan.
Yeah, the BDC. So I don't think they're having a big impact. They got a pretty deep roster at the top as it is right now, with Rude and Aries and the Destroyer Lashley and MVP and others.
Yeah, and I mean I can agree with you on that. That it is. They do have a deep roster and stuff like that, but Samoa Joe leaving and stuff like that they weren't able to come to terms on a contract, I really feel is a big blow to TNA morale, because Joe, if you realize, he's been in TNA almost 10 years, so he's been kind of like that locker room leader. You don't have a lot of guys that have the length and the history in TNA like Samoa Joe does, just like with AJ Styles leaving, like, I think 2013, and not coming back to TNA and going to Ring of Honor. And that was felt as a big blow to TNA. So I really feel this is a big blow to TNA because just of his long tenure in TNA, and for them not to be able to come to terms on a new contract for him. So
then again, you could be in one place for so long that things become stale for you. Maybe he needs a change.
And I mean, that could be something that could be argued. So since we talked about how the impact of Joe leaving TNA was, and you just mentioned maybe he needed a change, what do you feel Samoa Joe's future is?
I don't think it's WWE, because although not many people know this, he did actually have a match 10 years ago in the WWE against S.A. Rios.
Yes, you did bring that up. I actually read an article when I saw that Samoa Joe had been released from TNA, and I did know that he worked in WWE at least once, but he was used as an enhanced talent back even during the Attitude Era. So, I mean, that just goes to show you how long Samoa Joe has been wrestling and just the whole TNA. So
I think if the WWE wants to be on their terms, which would be probably time in NXT, and that's why I don't think he and the WWE will be in an eventual match. I don't think Joe wants to start in something like NXT.
Well, I mean, since you don't think he's going to go to WWE and NXT, do you think he is going to maybe go to Ring of Honor where he's had kind of success and stuff like that, or do you think he'll go over to Japan and work with like New Japan Pro Wrestling?
I think he'll go over to Japan.
Yeah, so you think that he's going to do Japan and stuff?
Yeah, I think he'll go over to Japan. Like I said, he's Ring of Honor, been there, done that. TNA been there, done that. Let's explore something new.
Okay, I mean, I do. Those are some interesting thoughts. I have read that WWE is interested in Samoa Joe, so I mean, you could be surprised and see Samoa Joe show up on NXT. And really, NXT is not a bad place and going into developmental. If you really look at WWE and all of their brands and all their shows that they offer, NXT, it is right up there. It's probably the number one weekly show that happens that WWE offers. And you have success from former Ring of Honor guys. I mean, look at who their champion is. Former Ring of Honor champion Kevin Owens, known as Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor. Sami Zayn, who was El Generico. Just all the success of these former indie guys that you're seeing on NXT. I don't think that would necessarily be an insult to Samoa Joe. And I mean, he has worked for the company before. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him come up to NXT and that be his future.
You're talking about guys there that were never in TNA.
Well, I mean,
so it may be seen as a lateral move to Joe, whereas in the other cases it was seen as a move up for the Sami Zayns of the world.
Well, I mean, TNA is a great thing, and I mean, it's not necessarily a lateral move. I mean, WWE is number one, and TNA is number two.
Well, I'm thinking TNA to NXT, not TNA to the main roster.
And you could possibly compare those two as being a lateral move.
I was talking about that Joe may see it as a lateral move.
Okay, and I mean, that's interesting thoughts. I mean, with us not being Samoa Joe and know how he thinks, well, you really honestly don't know. But I mean, and you did bring up a good point. So is there any final thoughts that you want to, Samoa Joe's release from TNA, or anything that you want to bring up before we go off the air for this one?
Good luck in your future endeavors, Joe.
Yes, we wish you luck in your future endeavors, whatever they may be. And we want to thank you guys for joining us for the second segment. We have a few more segments and YouTube exclusive content coming up soon.